So, Caitlin Clark played golf during the week, and obviously it was a big deal. Surprisingly enough, almost bigger deal than Unrivaled, which is kind of mad. But yeah. So, Caitlin Clark played some golf, and what we saw from Caitlin Clark playing golf was the LPGA really, really being really happy about it. And the reality is that it's gotten to the stage now where it seems like they're just trolling the WNBA. Like, at this stage, I think they're just trolling the WNBA. You see here, this is days later. Nothing but love for Caitlin Clark over here. Constantly saying, like, it's always, everything is like, who doesn't love Caitlin Clark? Like, all of these posts are like, there's so many, like, cryptic, what have I done there? Cryptic things that are basically them throwing shade at the WNBA. Yeah, I'm a massive Caitlin Clark fan. I love basketball, especially her. I tried to sneak in and come see her before my pro on Wednesday. That didn't really happen. I'm a little bummed out about that, but maybe next year. Yeah, I've taken a lot of inspiration from her. I think she's a lot of her ability. Just block out things. With everything that's happening in the WNBA surrounding her, she's able to handle it so well. And it's funny, like, I've always said this, the people that are at the top of their game, they will really appreciate what Caitlin Clark's having to deal with. So you're looking at, like, when it comes to female golfers, they make decent money, like a lot of the good ones. So they're at the top of their game. There's no, like, jealousy involved, and they're fully happy about Caitlin Clark. Just like Serena Williams. Serena Williams has talked about how Caitlin Clark's had to deal with everything, how tough it is. And this is while the WNBA people are blaming Caitlin Clark for everything and saying Caitlin Clark was, like, the worst, like, again, the worst thing ever. Serena Williams was talking about how great Caitlin Clark was and how tough it is for her and stuff like that. But yeah, it is mad. And I think one of the big things with this is they showed just how many impressions there were. So if you guys didn't see, just from the Pro-Am, there were 7 million impressions on the LPGA social media. And, like, the LPGA, look, they don't get a crazy amount of impressions otherwise. No offense to them. Like, you can see here, 3 by round leader here. And this is the non-Pro-Am part. Will Nelly Korda win her third? 57 likes, 2,000, 1,000 views. Like, the LPGA get less traction on average than Mick Talks Hoop / DBG. 13K on this one, you know. 7.4K, 17K, 52K on this tweet, 22K, 24K. Shout out to the GOAT, Katie Taylor. Like, I get more impressions than the LPGA on tweets. So, it's obviously such a big deal then when the LPGA come out and have 7 million impressions over a couple of days just on Caitlin Clark stuff. And they also said X content about Clark earned an additional 27 million. There were 34 million impressions about this. And it's just every league. It's obviously not only the LPGA. You can see here with the, when it comes to tennis. So this is Caroline Dolehide.
My greatest female role models have been my sisters and my mom because they all inspire me and make me become a better version of myself ever since I was little. Outside of tennis, my biggest role model and somebody who's inspired me a lot has probably been like a Mia Hamm and those women in other sports that have pushed boundaries and has pushed our sport to level up. I would pick Caitlin Clark to be my doubles partner from another sport. I think that would be really fun. I think there would be a massive crowd behind us, and I would love to see her play some tennis.
And I was about to be confused. I had no idea who she was. I play tennis. I keep up with tennis. I'm like, yeah, she's like 40 in the world. Keep up a little bit with tennis. But yeah, so you can see when it comes to all of these players, all the other sports, they obviously all want a bit of Caitlin Clark because they know what it brings with them. They know what it brings. It's gonna bring crowd. Heck, even for her for doubles, she basically said it'll be fun and there'll be a big crowd. So like all of these players playing in front of a huge crowd, it's something that everybody strives for. But it seems to be the one thing that the WNBA players hate because a lot of the time the crowd is against them. And then it's when there are people that are near the top, a lot of the time they're not too bad. Obviously, take out Asia Wilson, but you're looking like Stewie. I don't think Stewie has an issue with Caitlin Clark. Sabrina definitely doesn't. I don't think Fee Collier obviously has no issue with Caitlin Clark. Satu, who's one of the bigger names in the W, doesn't have any issue. I think it is just, again, it is if you're part of the club. And a lot of the top players, some of them are part of the club, some of them aren't. Like, Fee Collier went to UConn, but she's not part of the club because, well, she's not the one Gina Auriemma is constantly talking about. But yeah, it is crazy, and I do like the fact that they're trolling. They are trolling. You can see 219. I'm guessing a lot of this. It was the shade. Am I blocked by this person? Is that what blocked is? This author's blocked. I have no idea who that is. Okay, I'm convinced the LPGA is just trolling the WNBA at this point, doing God's work. If only the WNBA felt this way. And it does appear like that. It actually appears that the WNBA are just fully getting trolled by all these leagues. And I'm watching this. I'm looking at all this situation, and I'm just like, the WNBA just shot themselves in the foot. They shot themselves in the foot early in the year. And like they couldn't really do anything about it. With the way things were going, they really couldn't do much about it, and it was just they started off the year, and I think it was them really starting off the year trying to make it so that people didn't just watch for Caitlin Clark, and they didn't take into account that it was that was something that was organically going to happen. And now we're seeing all the other leagues. We're seeing the NFL talk about Caitlin Clark positively, the MLB doing it. Like all of these leagues talking positively about Caitlin Clark. And then the league that she's in, heck, misspelling her name wrong some of the times, doing whatever they could to make sure she is not in assist week. Or, you know, when she hit back-to-back 30-footers to win the first game of the season for the Fever, which was really important. That first win versus the Sparks is important. She hit back-to-back 30-footers to do it. Not even mentioned in clutch week. So it's like, you've seen these other leagues. They've seen what Caitlin Clark can do. They've seen how Caitlin Clark can like raise the profile of the sport, how Caitlin Clark can help the game. But the WNBA and the fact that the WNBA don't want to, they are fully, I think, just trolling. Especially with the way that they're saying, like, nothing but love. I think they've said, they had another one was like, who doesn't love Caitlin Clark, and all this other stuff. And one thing I'll say for sure is these other leagues are definitely going to be happy to have the Caitlin Clark fans that the WNBA apparently don't want.